Hi guys, let me show you how I switch the undertones of foundations and concealers using the MUA color wheel as a visual guide. I'm starting with this light concealer and I'll place that on the box labeled Hue 1. I'm going to mix this color with red to get a new shade. I'm taking a little of that cream product and adding some red pigment to it. Because I would like to maintain the lightness of that concealer, I'm going to add a little bit of white to the red and this will give me a pink color. Now I'm going to mix that pink color with the concealer to change the undertone. Adding some red pigment does not necessarily mean I'll end up with a concealer with red undertone. You need to first check the undertone of the concealer or foundation to determine the right pigments to use when you're color correcting. When you compare the original color with the new shade, you'll see that there's an actual difference in undertone. Now using the MUA color wheel, you can see that this one has an orange undertone and the new mixture has a red-orange undertone. This is because orange plus red will create red-orange. Now let's try mixing that same concealer with orange pigment. Once again, I'm going to add white to brighten that orange color, but instead of orange, I'm using orange yellow because the concealer already has an orange undertone. After mixing in the concealer, I'm going to fill up the space under the orange column and then move to the next color, which is yellow. Repeat the same process by adding yellow and white to the concealer and then record the new mixture under the yellow column so that we can compare the shades and check their undertones. Now let's check the undertones with the MUA color wheel. Can you see this is orange? This is also orange, but this one is already moving towards the orange yellow. We're getting orange yellow here because we started with a concealer with orange undertone, and orange plus yellow will give you orange yellow. Moving on to the cool tones, I'm going to do the same thing for green, for blue, and for violet. To control the amount of pigment you mix with your foundation or concealer, it's better to add mixing pigment in bits to the product and not the other way around like I did here. Especially if you're working with colors that are super pigmented like blue, green, and violet. Blue is like the strongest color, so you really need to be careful when working with blue. You can see that this actually changed the undertone and it looks a little too blue for a skin tone color. At the end of the day, color theory, like every other skill, needs practice. So the more you practice, the better you will get at mixing colors or changing undertones. I'm bringing in the color wheel again to help us explain the changes in these shades. Now first we started with orange and then we moved to red orange. We added some more orange yellow and we still have orange. When I added yellow, I got orange yellow. And then when I added green to the mixture, guess what? I'm getting an olive undertone, and this is because blue is opposite orange, but instead of mixing blue with that, we mixed green. So we're going to get a warm olive tone instead of a cool or neutral color. Adding blue as a complementary color will neutralize all of that orange and shift it towards the blue undertone. And then the next one, we have the violet. Remember, violet plus orange would give you red. This is why it's super important to learn the basics of color theory so you know what to expect when you're mixing colors. If you'd like to see me work on the second row of colors using a darker concealer, then drop a comment below.